20 best Nigerian movies you should watch. The Nigerian movie industry, better known as Nollywood, is indeed waxing very strong at the moment, offering many possibilities for entertainment and relaxation, not just to people of Nigeria, but also to foreigners all over the world. The industry has grown very big, becoming the largest in Africa and the second largest by the number of Nigerian movies produced per year, just behind Bollywood, Indian movie industry. Nollywood indeed deserves credit for also providing a good and entertaining way to learn the Hausa language and also get insight into the Hausa culture. Be it romance, comedy, horror, drama, soap opera, or action film, the Nigerian film industry has shown that it is equal to the task. In this video, we've decided to take a look at movies that could be considered as the very best of Nigerian movies. You agree with me that coming up with the best Nigerian movies list can be very subjective, as what Mr. A might consider as a very good movie might not be as good for Mr. B. It can take a lot of hard work. However, we've tried our best to bring you what we consider and what we believe will be considered by many as the best Nigerian movies. The criteria for a selection is not just the script, but it includes the quality of the movies, the production quality, performance, directing, sound, makeup, and visual effects. 20 best Nigerian movies of all time. Number 1. Mr. and Mrs. Kenneth Abba is the rich son of the petroleum minister, married to Susan Abba. Kenneth's father got lucky and was made the petroleum minister, which totally turned their life around and made Kenneth so arrogant. He never fails to remind his wife of his status. He treats his wife as shabbily as if she is his maid, talks to her anyhow, and practically calls her family poor. And one day, after a very harsh exchange of words, Kenneth decides that divorce is the answer to Susan's problem, since he feels she is no longer happy being his wife. Kenneth with his mother and Susan go to the counselor to get a confidential divorce, which Susan embraced wholesomely to her husband's surprise. His main aim was actually not to divorce her, but to make her beg, but he got another thing coming. Linda, on the other hand, played the part of a successful career woman who seemingly had a perfect husband and a perfect marriage. This part was so predictable. No man would take the rubbish Linda displayed. She leaves everything to the maids. She won't cook for him. She won't sleep with him till she's ready, and everything is according to her schedule. She always tells the maid to take care of the home and her husband, and indeed, the maid took care of the husband in every way without fail. 2. The Figurine. This is the story of two friends and a girl who are all down on their luck, but their lives are completely changed when one of them discovers Aramoto, a mysterious figurine in an abandoned shrine, which, according to legend, bestows 7 years of good luck, but no one told them about the next 7 years of ill luck that quickly followed after the good years. 3. Last flight to Abuja. If you only have a few minutes left to leave, what will you do? A set of travelers bought the last Flamingo Airway flight, scheduled to fly from Lagos to Abuja on a fateful Friday night. However, through a mixture of human errors, technical failure, and sheer bad luck, the plane rapidly developed major difficulties, which sent it teetering on the brink of disaster. As the pilots fight with the control of the stricken plane, a series of flashbacks unravel the twist, turns and leaps of fate that put each passenger on the fateful flight. Young lovers, an elderly couple, a corporate party, a sportsman on the threshold of greatness. All the passengers are caught up in the nightmare scenario and sense the final moments of their lives. 4. Aramoto. In an extremely culture-conscious Yoruba community, a wealthy female trader, Aramoto, tries to use the congenial quality of the Gillette cult to get ideas on women's rights and establish a government centered on the needs of the people. She forms a clan that includes a singer, which eventually breaks up her marriage with her kind-hearted husband. This new relationship threatens to kill everything she has built and affected her relationship with other community leaders negatively. 5. Miami. Based on a Nigerian novel, this story takes place over 2 days and tells the story of a single mother and her young son, Kashimawo, who are desperately poor. Miami is a kind-hearted woman with a brave soul who tries to protect her son from the father he has never known and who carries a dark secret. 6. Mirror Boy. The Mirror Boy is a mystical journey through Africa, seen through the eyes of a 12-year-old boy, Tijan. After a London street fight in which a local boy is hurt, Tijan's mother decides to take him back to their roots, to the Gambia. On their arrival in Banjul, Tijan encounters a strange apparition, a boy smiling at him in the mirror and vanishing. Seeing the same boy in the crowded street market the next day sets in motion a chain of events, which Tijan, finding himself lost. While Tijan's panic-stricken mother struggles to find her son, Tijan is left alone in the company of an enigmatic mirror boy, seemingly only visible to him. After a bruising spiritual rite of passage, the mirror boy takes Tijan on a mystical journey, but not all is what it seems. 7. The Return of Jennifer. Funke Akindele returns with her crew to create more fun comedy. The Jennifer series is quite one to watch out for. A. Phone Swap. Phone Swap is a romantic comedy which tells the story of Akin, a corporate executive, and Mary, a warm-hearted fashion designer, who meets for the first time at a busy airport where they accidentally bump into each other and mistakenly swap their identical phones. This leads to a series of unattended and hilarious consequences. They receive one another's texts and his leads, and this leads to a mix-up in the travel's destination. Consequently, Akin ends up traveling to where Mary is supposed to go, and vice versa. As a result of the phone swap, they agree to help carry out each other's mission, armed with the information and data on each other's phone. But it is not as easy as they both think, as new obstacles and complications arise at every turn as they both struggle to adapt to their new alien environment and situations. Mary has to walk in Akin's shoes and represent him in a company meeting, while Akin has to represent Mary in her family meeting. 9. Two Brides and a Baby. Finding true love is a very difficult task, but to find love and the man you want to spend the rest of your life is more of a Herculean task. Keche and Bankole's walk down the aisle seems threatening as the happenings and resultant prejudice of the past come calling. Will their love supersede the turbulence of the past? Find out in this romantic flick, Two Birds and a Baby. 10. Memories of My Heart. A young man intends to get married to a lady who helps him when he was very poor. As fate will have it, he got a job in an oil company where he started earning a lot of money. Things started to turn around when his girlfriend's best friend started developing an interest in him. Will he abandon his first love? 11. Ghetto Dreams, the Dagreen story, is based on the true life story of the late popular and award-winning hip-hop rapper Dagreen, whose untimely death in a ghastly motor accident at the age of 24 stunned and stirred the nation in 2010. The movie recreated Dagreen's personal life, his struggles, challenges, and ultimately tragic death at the point of success. The movie is also a social commentary on the challenges of young musicians in Nigeria and what they go through as they pursue their dreams of stardom. 12. Sinking Sand. Jima and Pabi are a match made in heaven until a domestic accident turns their loving marriage into one of violence and abuse. Pabi, the woman at the center of the controversy, must choose between love and life, companionship and independence. What will she choose? What will you choose? 13. Kiss and Tell. The film revolves around two Casanova friends and business partners, Ike and Bernard, and a divorce lawyer, Delphine, who is a divorcee herself and doesn't want to have anything to do with men again. Bernard strikes a bet with Ike, which involves Ike having sex with Delphine. In 10 days or forfeit 5% of his shares to Bernard. If Ike succeeds, he would have 5% of Bernard's shares. However, Bernard tells Tina, Delphine's best friend, about the bet in order to have an edge, thereby complicating things for Ike. 14. Confusion Nawa. A misplaced phone is found by two opportunist wasters who, after reading through a plethora of incriminating text messages, decide to blackmail the owner. Little do they realize that Miss Demino is to set in motion a chain of unfortunate events. 15. Sofia in London. Sofia, a big-time villager, travels to London, England, to receive his share of an inheritance left for him by a deceased relative. Cultural misunderstandings result in a comedy of errors. 16. Igodo, The tale in this movie takes place in a village where people are dying randomly. The Igwe calls a meeting of the elders and the witch doctors. One elder has a story to tell, the story of Amadioha. The secret of the story holds a key to their misfortune. A price to pay becomes a journey in a native land. On the go to save the land, heroes give up, brave ones die, vengeance crowds. 17. Domitilla. Domitilla and her friends, Judith and Jenny, are street hawkers living in the fast lane. Her chance encounter with a high-profile politician changes her life and fortune as the politicians adopt her as his mistress. However, her work crashes when the politician is found dead in his hotel room after a night of frog-licking with her. All evidence points in Domitilla's direction. 18. Mr. Ibu. This is the original movie that began the Mr. Ibu series and gave rise to other hilarious comedies like Mr. Ibu in London and others. 19. Akina Ukwa. Two young troublesome brothers cause disruption at home, terrorize the people in their village, and wreak havoc at school. 20. Mr. Ibu in London. A poorly paid security man, Mr. Ibu, wants to impress an international girl who happens to have an American boyfriend. Because he feels so intimidated by the American boyfriend, he decides to travel to London by hiding inside a cargo container. He then requested for his salary in advance as he goes to London. Finally, he is in London and homeless until an old friend comes to his aid. But as is the typical Mr. Ibu, he messes up throughout his stay and returns home with nothing. Thanks for watching our movies. Please subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification icon.
For more news about what is happening across Africa, subscribe, hit the notification icon. Thanks for watching New Africa.